Hey everybody, it's great to see you. We're back. We're -1 today. Courtney's not feeling well, so we kind of give her a break, but we are cooking dinner for Courtney and Casey's family tonight. So we thought it would be great to do a video on it. So we are going to do a wonderful pasta dish, very easy, very simple for everyone to do at home, with some fried chicken on it too. So this is a classic fried chicken. You can use it by yourself as far as, or alone as far as just the chicken itself if you just want some fried chicken and dunk it in some hot sauce or ranch or whatever you want to do. Or you can do it in a pasta dish like we're going to do today. So what we've gone ahead and done, I'll show everybody here, and we have made our own breadcrumbs. Now you can buy breadcrumbs at the store if you want to, right? But this is more of a panko style breadcrumb. So I've just taken some homemade bread that I've made this week. I took 3 pieces and I just kind of crumbled it up into this dish, and I've let it set out for a couple days. That's all we've done. And then I put in some Italian seasoning, and it's perfect, and it's gonna fry so well in this. So we've got this, and we've got some boneless, skinless tenderloin chicken right here. There it is. Casey's so good. And we've let it thaw out, and it's just sitting on a paper towel right now, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and start preparing for the fried chicken. Now Casey's gonna go ahead, she's gonna salt and pepper the chicken ahead of time, and she's gonna be in charge of the fried chicken dredging station. That is her job, right?
Yep.
You're gonna be the expert.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're gonna do is she's gonna go ahead and salt and pepper the chicken. You can do that. Casey, if you want to. Are you so excited about this?
Yeah, I'm very hyped.
She's very excited about this. So what's one thing that you like about cooking?
One thing I like about cooking is that it helps me develop the habit, and it gives me something to do.
Yeah.
And,
And it's fun to experiment, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, it's totally fun to experiment. So, Casey has been really enjoying doing a lot of cooking lately. Baking, you really like to bake.
Yeah.
Baking is kind of where her heart is, which I love to do both. I really love to bake too. Courtney is the cooker,
Yeah.
and she's not feeling well today. She has a headache, so we miss her though, but that's okay. We love you, Courtney. Get better. Okay, so Casey's grandparents are going over to her house tonight for dinner. Tomorrow is Courtney's birthday. She's going to be 19. Okay, I can't keep track. She's going to be 19 tomorrow, so they're coming over for dinner tonight to your house. So we thought it would be really cool for us to cook dinner for them, and then Casey's going to take it home, and they're going to just pop it into the oven later on, and they're going to have it for dinner. So it's going to be yummy. So let's get started. So Casey, go ahead, salt and pepper that chicken. We have 10 just small tenderloin breasts, skinless, boneless chicken. Actually, it was frozen in the store, okay? And she's gonna salt and pepper both sides of that. So she's gonna salt and pepper one side, then she's gonna turn it over and do the same thing on the second side. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start what is going to be the sauce. Now this is going to be like a white sauce that is gonna go with this chicken and pasta dish. Now I've got, in my stock pot back here, I've got a big stock pot full of water. And it's just coming up to the boiling point now, so I'm gonna add a little bit of salt in there before I add my pasta. And a tiny bit of olive oil on that. So you wanna salt your water, okay? Now, for those that are really watching their salt intake, if you normally don't salt your water and you don't want to, then don't. That's completely up to you. That's totally like your preference on that. I personally do to make sure that the pasta has as much flavor as possible. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons of olive oil to my boiling water. Just kind of eyeball it, doesn't have to be perfect, okay? And then we're gonna be using olive oil for all 3 things, okay? I try to use olive oil, and I buy it in bigger jugs, and then I just keep it in my regular olive oil jar right here on the counter, and it works perfect. So whatever you wanna do, definitely, just kind of make it your own, all right? So this is where the fried chicken's gonna be. So we're gonna put a generous amount of olive oil in the bottom of this nice big fry pan here. And then we're gonna be cooking the sauce in this one here. And this is my 10-inch skillet, maybe 10 or 12, I don't know, 10-inch. Look on the back, Judy, 10-inch. All right, so my 10-inch skillet's gonna go here, and all my sauce is gonna cook in that. All right, so that I'm just gonna put just enough to cover the bottom. How you doing over there, Casey? doing excellent. I wouldn't expect anything else. All right, we got our smooth jazz music going on. That's kind of what we chose for today's music. Right, Casey?
Yep.
We like it, don't we?
Yeah.
We're grooving out to it. All right, so this water is boiling. It's on a nice, good roar boil, so I'm gonna go ahead and I've got some penne pasta. We have decided to do penne pasta today. Now you can do whatever you want. Rotini, you could even do spaghetti if you wanted to. I like the more shaped pastas for this dish, like rotini or the penne or anything like that, just because the sauce and everything, once it gets in there, it really holds nicely to this type of pasta. So I'm gonna use one 16-ounce package because that's gonna fit in our casserole dish just right. And it will be enough to feed their family. Now they're gonna have 6 for dinner tonight. So this will be enough to feed them, and plus it might have a little bit left over after. Depends on how much pasta you eat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like pasta?
Yeah.
Yeah. You like fried chicken more?
Yeah.
Yeah, fried chicken is so awesome. I love it. Okay, so we have gone ahead and I've dumped that pasta right in that boiling water. Now this is gonna be so good, and I'm just gonna let that cook. Now, with the pasta dish, you don't wanna cook this pasta until it's mushy. All right, you want it so it's almost done, but not quite. It's called al dente, okay? So if you ever go to an authentic Italian restaurant, if it's authentic, chances are it's gonna be fresh pasta, okay? So, and it always has a little bit of a bite to it. It's not really mushy and falls apart. You don't want pasta that falls apart, that's gross. All right, so you definitely just wanna do it that way. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna start our olive oil here, and we're gonna start making the sauce. Now, Casey is gonna be starting to do the fried chicken process. She first is going to dunk it in the breadcrumbs. She's gonna get it, and then she's gonna flip it over into the egg, and she's gonna get both sides of the egg wet on the mixture. And then she's gonna go back to the breadcrumbs and do it one more time. Now this is called double dredging, or it's gonna be extra crispy, which is really good. And with homemade breadcrumbs, guys, there's nothing better. It's gonna be so good. So what do you think, Case? Think it's gonna work?
Yeah.
I think it is too. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on the sauce. Now, I have cut up some onions and peppers and I freeze them ahead of time. Now, what I do is I buy a big old bag of onions, and I cut them up, and like peppers when they're on sale or they're almost getting ready to kind of, like some that have not gone by, but they're, maybe they're not as fresh as they need to be. Well, I'm gonna cut them up, I'm gonna get them in a freezer bag and get them in the freezer, because I can use them for all my pasta dishes and anything else. You can chop them up fine, use them in meatloaf, you can do whatever, but that is my go-to trick, is just freeze them, and then you don't have to worry about it there. So I'm gonna reduce my heat now. It was on high to get that oil kind of brought up to temperature, and I'm gonna reduce that down to medium. And I'll probably keep it on medium for most of the time. Now, before we started filming, how you doing over there, Casey?
You're doing good.
Doing good? Have anything to say to our folks?
No.
Not yet. We're gonna just keep rolling, right?
Yeah.
You're doing a good job. I'm gonna show them this chicken, okay? See how it looks, folks? That's amazing. It's gonna taste phenomenal. Now, all this is bread that's crumbled up with my fingers. I crumbled it up with my fingers. I put it in the dish and let it dry, and just sprinkled in some dry Italian seasoning. That's it. It makes the best panko crumbs ever. And it makes the chicken just perfect, all right? So this was like a multi-grain homemade bread that I made, but you can use anything that you want. That's the good part, all right? Okay, so back to the sauce. I have got the onions and the peppers in here, cooking down. And now to this, I'm gonna add garlic. Now, ahead of time, Casey chopped up 3 cloves of fresh garlic. I'm gonna grab those, and I've got them right here. She chopped them on the cutting board, and she did great. First time cutting garlic, right, Casey?
Yeah.
You did amazing. Does it smell wonderful?
It smells great, but like really strong.
It's really strong, but it smells great. Exactly. We both agree that we love garlic. One can never have too much garlic.
Pretty much.
Do you agree? I agree. Garlic bread, garlic sauce. Now we've got a few ingredients that we're gonna put into this this cream sauce. We've got some goat cheese. It's an Italian herb goat cheese that I get at the store. We've got some ricotta cheese, a little bit of heavy cream, and some basil, and that's it. And it's the squeezed basil, kind of what I used in my recipe in the tomato and basil soup. That recipe that I did on YouTube, definitely tune in for that one. That one's a great recipe. Casey, do you like tomato soup?
Oh, I love tomato soup.
What's your favorite to go with tomato soup?
Grilled cheese, definitely.
Grilled cheese, yeah, definitely. Grilled cheese and tomato are the best. Okay, so we're gonna need that as well. So we're just gonna cook this down till it just gets soft. All right, and then I'm gonna give this pasta a stir. And this is a great kind of to keep them together just so that you can work on both of them at the same time, okay? All right, so now that that's cooking up, I'm gonna check on Casey. How are you doing over here?
I'm doing pretty good.
Woo, look at you. What have you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're halfway.
Yeah, halfway there.
You're halfway there. Great job. Don't you just love her? She's just phenomenal. Okay, so now let's go ahead and we're gonna start implementing all of our other stuff. Now, I've got 1 package of goat cheese here. Now, I'm not going to use all of it. Casey, here's my fork right here. Never mind. Continue on. All right, so I'm going to take out probably about 5 tablespoons of goat cheese. That's about half the package. All right, give or take a little bit. It might be more like 4 tablespoons, but I think it looks like 5. I totally eyeball it. In cooking, you eyeball, don't you?
Yeah.
It's not so much about measuring. It's about, oh, this looks good. Let's throw this in there.
Good enough.
With baking, it's a lot more exact, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta do like, if it says a teaspoon of baking powder, you better put a teaspoon of baking powder in there.
Yeah.
If you don't, it's not gonna turn out well.
Yeah.
But with cooking, I think Courtney said that's why she likes cooking.
Yeah.
Because she throws a little of this in, throws a little of that in, and it works.